Recently, a friend asked me to help her scale my Johnny cake recipe because she has to take 50 Johnny cakes to a function. So I jumped at the opportunity to take on this challenge. You're watching the Bare Pantry Show. Welcome to the Bare Pantry Show. If you want to learn how to cook in simple steps and have your dishes come out great the first time, then you're in the right place. Learn to make restaurant-style meals, comfort foods, and authentic Belizean dishes from basic ingredients. So now when it comes to the butter, because it was 2 1/3 cup for the big batch, I'm going to do 1 cup of the butter, right? And then I'm going to half this 1/3 cup. Let me eyeball it. So look at my chart. Go slowly that way, Joe. See, when you half a 1/3 cup, it's actually 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons. So it's supposed to be 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons, all right? And then the flour goes from 14 cups to 7 cups of flour. So right at about 2.5 pounds of flour is going to give us 25 Johnny cakes. I'm not going to use this because I'm only testing half of the big batch. All right. So far I got the flour and the butter. So let me tell you about the rest of the ingredients. When it comes to the baking powder, we went from 3 teaspoons for the small batch. Well, not really a small batch, the regular batch, times 7 went to 21 teaspoons. There's 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon, so I divided the 21 by 3 and I got 7 tablespoons of baking powder for the big batch. So for the half batch, then we're going to have 3.5 tablespoons. All right. Now, as far as the sugar is concerned, I normally put 2 tablespoons of sugar in my Johnny cake. If you find it a tad too sweet for you, then you can scale it down. But at 2 tablespoons times 7, that's 14 tablespoons. So then half of it would be 7 tablespoons. If you want to go and say put a little bit less sugar, remember 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon. So then it would be 6 teaspoons to the 2 tablespoons. Scale it down to 4 teaspoons times 7, that's 28. The closest to round it to would be 9 tablespoons for the big batch. And then 2 into 9 would be like 4.5 tablespoons for the small batch. Well, the half a batch. I can't. It's not small. Okay. 1/3 cup of butter. I measured out 1/3 by 7, and it went to 2 1/3. And then you saw how I divided it. And then the 5 ounces of milk times 7 becomes 35 ounces of milk. And if you're gonna do the half of it, it's 17.5 ounces of milk. So let me gather the rest of my ingredients. You love delicious desserts, but recipes can be complicated and take too long to make. Hi, Barbara here with my new holiday ebook of easy recipes for desserts. I've compiled 25 of the most popular recipes of delicious desserts for the holidays. Watch this. Start with canned yams. Add brown sugar, butter, and mini marshmallows. Then bake in the oven for 25 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for delicious candied yams. Oh, so scrumptious. Look, your kids will devour this microwave fudge. It's easy. Just grab a heat-safe bowl and dump in the good stuff like butter, peanut butter, mini marshmallows, and microwave on high for a couple of minutes. Add powdered sugar, then whisk. Pour into a parchment-lined glass dish. Allow to set, then dice and serve. With just a few clicks of the mouse, you can download this beautiful, easy-to-follow recipe book and make desserts for the holidays just like Grandma used to make. So right here I have the 3.5 tablespoons of baking powder. And then this is 6 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going to scoop another one to make 7. Remember, you can put less if you want. For 25 Johnny cakes, you could do 4.5 tablespoons of sugar rather than 6. And you don't have to put any sugar at all if you don't want, because traditionally it's not made with sugar, but I don't like the taste of those type of Johnny cakes, so this is why I do mine like this. And this is a salted butter, so I'm not going to put any salt. So I have the flour, the baking powder, the sugar, the butter, and now all I need is the milk. And then we can make this batch, okay? Okay, so now we're going to start mixing. So Joe went out and got me some coconut milk, and each tin has 13.5 fluid ounce. And to take it to full scale for 50 Johnny cakes, we needed 5 ounces times 7, so that's 35 ounces divided by 2. That's about 17.5 ounces each. So we're not going to pour this one in a measuring cup because this is 13.5. So we're going to add like, 4 more ounces to that measuring cup, okay? We're going to start with that. Okay, so now because I still have some of the nails on, I'm just going to use my Spurtle Myrtle to go ahead and work this in. And you know what? I'm thinking right away I should have gotten a bigger bowl, but we'll see. So just mix everything in, the sugar. And like I said earlier when we were doing the measurements, if you don't like a lot of sugar in your Johnny cake, put a little bit less. If you don't like any sugar at all, you don't have to put any. Traditionally, it's not made with sugar, but my Aunt Tylene was the one that told me, add a little bit of sugar and then you'll like it, because I didn't used to like Johnny cakes when I was growing up. It was too bland. So go ahead. I really need to put it to a bigger bowl, but I don't want to do a bowl that you can't see through. So we're gonna work it, all right? So pour this one in, and even though we're gonna use the whole tin, just pour a little bit in and get it worked in. It's always better to go a little bit at a time. And I'm glad that we're halving the scale recipe so that you can do it twice, or she can do it twice, because these trays fit 8 comfortably. And I have 3 trays here, and the oven has 3 racks. So that works out. So if you have an oven with only 2 racks, some of the Johnny cakes are gonna have to sit and wait to be baked, all right? And I washed the tin off before I punched the holes, okay? Just keep working it with this paddle. I'm looking for the dry spots before I add the extra 4 ounces. So I'm just adding the remainder of the milk to make that 17 point something ounces, and then working this dough to get it wet. I put on these gloves, but they're too big for me, but that's all I have. And I'm using the gloves because I want to give some of these away. And I also have these long nails. I think I need like another ounce. So we're testing it, right? It's about an ounce. See that? Right there into that dry. I think that's good. So about 18.5 ounces of the milk. So it takes a little bit of time to get like this. So it's going to be hard to handle 5 pounds, okay? If you want to do the whole lot one lick. Dump it out. Get it worked in. I think I'm going to get rid of these gloves in a little while. They're getting on my nerves. So see how I'm just like making the dough relax as I knead it into a long log. I'll let you guys know how long I go. That's 30. So I got it to 30. So right here is 15. So cut it in half right there. Okay? Put that piece aside. Just kind of shrinking up as we go, okay? And then at this point, I think we could start eyeballing it. Another half, another half, another half, half. Let's see how many pieces we have here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so you already see that some of these are too big. So don't panic, okay? Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, just like we said. We need 25. So how many more do we need? 9 more, right? 16 plus 4 is 20 plus 9 more. So we're gonna find one that we think is the right size. This feels a little bit too big. This feels a little bit too small. So let's share some of him here. That feels good. So I'm just gonna try to eyeball them to be to that size. Put the scale back. So we have 1. This one feels big. So let's cut him. So just feel it in your hand like that, okay? Goes like another one. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 20. 22. Still not quite at 25. We need one more. Okay, we're gonna pinch from all of them to get that 25th one. Any of them that feels a little bit too fat, we're gonna pinch some. Now this one's turning out to be like Brown Nancy. It's getting too fat. This one feels, yeah, some people just gonna get a smaller Johnny cake. That's all it is. Alright, so I always make a dome on the top to make it smooth. And then I pinch the bottom shut. Roll it between my hands. Then squish it. Don't use a rolling pin, alright? Just squish it with your hands to make it flat. I'm going to grab my shrimp fork, the small fork. This is the way my family did it. We stabbed it with a fork. Joe's family used a knife, and they did a little scoopy soup thing that I'll show you guys. So that's the first one ready. It's 11:09 and we're right about halfway through. I have 14 ready. Okay, but I want to take this opportunity to show you guys again. So pick up a piece of dough, start smoothing off a part of it to make the dome for the top, right? Just smooth it off. Then start folding it in on itself to pinch a bottom part. The top part not smooth enough, go ahead, roll it on the countertop. You can use a little bit of flour if you want. If it's too sticky, pinch it, okay? Then you can roll it on the countertop. I found that when I started to mess with dough, this was a little bit harder for me to do, to roll it on the counter. So now I'm mashing it down with my hand. If you feel like you would benefit from a little rolling pin, because maybe the dough is not relaxing enough for you, then you could do that, especially if you have arthritis and stuff in your hand, you know what I mean? Don't let me stop you. And then I poke it with a fork. And I used to think that was just for decorations, but I found out it also helps with the baking. So again, we're making this dome. See the beautiful dome? It's smooth enough on the dome, so I don't feel like I need to roll it on the counter. Pinch it. I'm going fast, right? Because I'm used to doing this. Roll it. If it's having a little bit of trouble, put some flour. Roll it in the palm of your hand. If that's ugly right there, keep pinching. All right? You're not going to get it perfect the first time, but as you practice with dough, you get better and better. And eventually you'll get better than me. Flatten it a little bit, or press it with, I prefer to press it with a hand. Oh, let me show you what Joe's family does, or Joe at least. They take a butter knife and they just kind of do that. Some little designs. So I don't know if you like to see that better, or if you like the holes better. Okay, so let me get through this 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm right in the middle of editing this video when I realized that one of my clips is corrupted. Let me show you. See how all the other clips here have thumbnails except this one? Now normally I'd be able to pull this off of my camera's memory, but I've already deleted everything, so I'm gonna have to tell you what I did. Alright, so I greased the 3 baking sheets and I put the 25 Johnny cakes between the 3 sheets. So that's 8, 8, and 9. And then I put it in the oven. The oven was preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's been going now for about a half hour. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are. Too light. So let it go some more. and I give it 15 minutes more, and I'm checking now. I think they're still a little bit too light bright for me, so I'm going to go ahead and give it 5 more minutes, and I think by then the top row will start looking sun-kissed by the heat, you know? Alright, so just as I thought, this is the top row, and I've moved up row 2 and row 3, and I'm letting them go for 5 more minutes. And shout out to my friend Shanika for giving me this thing right here. Love this 3-layered thing. Now these are crispy right now, but they'll kind of soften up next day, or maybe even later on tonight. And if you want them crispy again, put them in the air fryer. If you like them soft, then you eat them soft, because I think most people eat them soft, right? Well, I don't want to cook one yet until it's, well, maybe I could cook one of these ones. Hold on. Oh, that one's perfect. Look at him. Joshua doesn't like them too flat because he wants to cut them open. So that's why I told you to flatten them with your hand, but it's just depending on what you like. Put a little bit of butter. I'm going to use this paddle because I want to go get some nails. And I think you can make these vegan, right? Because these are with coconut milk. You can replace it with the vegan butter to make them. And then, you know, eat it with vegan butter, vegan cheese. You have your vegan Johnny cake right there. Awesome, beautiful biscuit. You got choke. You guys enjoy. Look, see? Do my thumbnail. Got it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Check below for the recipe. Bye! Put it off my mouth. Remember, guys, we are not buying this book. Why? Because my distributor is ripping me off and not paying me any of my royalties. So for this reason, I redid the book that's being sold on Amazon, and I made this book. I removed a bunch of the recipes from the first book because I did not deem them to be authentically Belizean enough, and I put a bunch of brand new recipes in here. So you're gonna get more for your money, okay? So when you buy this book, you're gonna find that the recipes are very easy to understand, and the dishes are gonna come out perfect the very first time. So this book was made in 2018. In the middle of the pandemic in 2020, I made this book, The Pantry Laid Bare, and this is restaurant quality, no, not restaurant quality, better than restaurant quality meals at home. Now in 2021, I have my brand new book. This one's called No More Leftovers. Why? Because I reduced some of the recipes from this book, some of the recipes from this book, and I put a bunch of brand new recipes in there, but they're all small batches, all right? Now to purchase, all you have to do is visit my website, www.barepantryshow.com. You can shop safely and securely at www.barepantryshow.com.